I want to start today by asking you to do something that might feel a little bit strange, maybe even a little uncomfortable.
Okay.
I want you to physically check in with yourself right now as
Okay.
you're listening to this, just for a second.
Hmm.
Is there a part of you, maybe it's deep in your chest or sitting right at the base of your neck, or maybe it's just a tension in your jaw?
Yeah.
Is there a part of you that feels like it was holding its breath?
That is a very specific, and I would argue a very pervasive feeling,
Yeah.
holding your breath.
Right. It's not necessarily that you aren't breathing, you are alive, but it's that physical sensation of suspension.
Of waiting.
Exactly, of waiting. And specifically, I think for so many of us, it is the sensation of waiting for the chaos to stop.
Mm-hmm.
It's that internal monologue that runs on a loop in the background of our lives. It says, okay, look, this week is absolute madness. I'm completely underwater, but
There's always a but.
there's always a but. If I can just get through this deadline, or
Yeah.
if I can just get past this family visit, or just finish this semester, then finally things will calm down.
Ah, yes. The then. It is perhaps the most dangerous word in our internal vocabulary. Then implies a destination. It implies a crossing over. The logic goes, once things calm down, then I can actually start my life.
Right. Then I can start writing that book I've been talking about for 5 years.
Then I can go to the gym. Then I can just sleep without feeling guilty.
Exactly. We live in this perpetual state of looking at next week or next month or next year and thinking, that is when the peace arrives.
That is the promised land.
But today is just survival mode. Today is just keeping the head above water.
It is a universal feeling, this sense of deferral.
Mm-hmm.
But today, we are going to look at some source material that suggests this feeling is not just a habit, not just a quirk of modern life, but a dangerous trap.
A trap.
We're doing a deep dive into a concept called the illusion of availability.
The illusion of availability, it sounds mysterious, almost like a magic trick or a psychological thriller.
In a way, it is a magic trick. It is a trick our brains play on us regarding the nature of time itself.
Huh.
The specific source we are looking at today comes from a piece titled The Illusion of Availability, Deciding Your Life's Time, specifically referencing the QofeBreak 19 series.
Okay.
And the mission of this deep dive, if you want to call it that, is to explore why we constantly, chronically, feel like time is scarce.
Constantly.
We want to dissect the really uncomfortable truth about why later never actually happens.
Okay, let's unpack this, because I think everyone listening, and certainly the two of us sitting here, have fallen for this.
Oh, absolutely.
I catch myself saying, I'll do that when things slow down probably 3 times a day. It's my default setting.
And that is exactly where we need to start.
Yeah.
We need to examine that default setting. But before we get into the heavy philosophical stuff, I want to clarify what this deep dive is not.
Yes, good point.
Because when people see a title about time or availability, they usually expect a very specific kind of content.
Oh, I know exactly what you mean. They expect the hacks.
Precisely. They expect us to give them the top 10 tips for efficiency.
How to squeeze an extra hour out of your morning commute.
Right.
How to batch your emails for maximum productivity.
The Pomodoro technique explained.
Wake up at 4 a.m. and take an ice bath.
Please, no more of that.
Please no. I am so tired of that advice. I feel like we are absolutely saturated with productivity porn.
We are.
It's always about how to fit more into the container of the day.
Exactly. And I want to be very clear. This deep dive is not that. We are not going to talk about productivity hacks. We aren't going to talk about scheduling tips or time management tricks. If you are looking for a way to optimize your calendar to fit in 3 more meetings, this isn't the discussion for you.
Thank goodness, because I feel like those hacks often just make me feel more stressed.
They do.
Like if I fail to optimize every second, I'm failing at life.
That is a very common reaction. This isn't about time management. It's about the philosophy of time.
Well, philosophy of time.
It's about perception. The source material makes a distinction that is really crucial and, frankly, a bit radical. The difference between waiting for time to appear versus making it happen.
So we aren't looking at how to fit more in. We are looking at why we keep pushing the important stuff out.
Precisely. The central thesis of the source we're looking at is stark. It argues that the idea of having enough time, that state of abundance we are striving for, is an illusion.
An illusion.
And that waiting for that magical moment where you feel like you have enough time is a trap. And it's a trap that will eat your life if you let it.
Eat your life. That is a visceral image.
It's meant to be.
It raises the stakes immediately. This isn't just about being late for dinner. This is about missing the point of existence.
It really is.
So let's dive into it. The source starts with this observation. Everyone is waiting for things to slow down.
Everyone. It seems to be the collective mantra of the modern era.
It really is. Think about the last time you met a friend for coffee or ran into a former colleague at the grocery store.
Yeah.
You do the standard dance. You ask, "How are you? How have you been?" And what do they say?
99% of the time, they say busy.
Oh, busy, so busy. Or, "It's been a crazy week. Things are nuts right now."
Good, but tired. Just trying to get through this week.
Right. And notice the qualifier we always use. We rarely just say, "My life is chaotic." We say, "It's crazy right now."
That is the key. That little phrase, right now, does so much heavy lifting.
It really does.
We treat our current state of busyness as an anomaly. We view the chaos of today as a glitch in the system.
A temporary problem.
Yes. We tell ourselves, this isn't my real life. My real life is calm, composed, and organized. This specific week is just a disaster because of X, Y, and Z.
We treat the busyness as the exception to the rule.
But here is where the source challenges us to look at the data.
The data of our own lives.
Yes, if you honestly look back over the last year or the last 5 years, was there ever actually a period where everything just stopped?
Stopped completely.
Where the calendar was blank, the inbox is empty, and you had zero obligations.
I mean, maybe for a day here or there, but that's usually because I'm sick in bed.
Right.
Maybe on vacation. But even then, you're busy vacationing, you're planning dinners and catching flights. So generally, no.
No.
As soon as one crazy period ends, another one seems to start immediately.
That is the psychology the source is pointing to. We believe in what we could call the myth of the clear horizon.
The myth of the clear horizon. I like that.
We are obsessed with the horizon. We look at next month on our calendar, and what do we see?
We see white space. We see empty boxes.
We see emptiness. There are no meetings scheduled for the third Tuesday of next month yet. No emergencies have happened
The
yet.
car hasn't broken down yet.
Not yet. So we project this fantasy of calmness onto it. We see that white space, and we interpret it as free time.
We think, oh, look at that. February looks pretty light. I'll definitely have time to start my gardening project in February.
But the only reason it's empty is because we haven't lived it yet.
Right.
It represents a lack of information, not a lack of obligation.
That is such a light bulb moment for me. We confuse, "I don't know what I'm doing that day yet," with, "I have nothing to do that day."
Exactly. The source argues that this future state of calmness almost never arrives.
Almost never.
The emptiness of the future is an illusion. It is the fog of war in a video game. Just because you can't see the enemies on the map doesn't mean they aren't there.
And that confusion keeps us in the waiting game.
Constantly.
We justify delaying our happiness or our passion projects because we sincerely believe that in 3 weeks, the waters will part.
We do. We genuinely believe it every single time.
We think we are making a rational decision based on our calendar, but we are actually making a decision based on a mirage.
We are betting our lives on a weather forecast that is always wrong.
Always.
We predict sun, but it always rains.
So if the clear horizon is a myth, if the white space is a lie, what is the reality? The source uses this phrase, how busyness becomes permanent.
Right. This connects to the bigger picture of how modern life is structured.
It's not just a personal failing then.
No, not at all. The expert analysis of the text suggests that life isn't a series of peaks and valleys. Busy, then calm, then busy.
Which is how we like to think of it.
We like to think of it that way because it gives us hope for rest. But the source describes it differently. It describes it almost like a rising tide.
A rising tide. That's terrifying. It implies that the water level just keeps going up and up.
It is terrifying, but we have to face it. The mechanism here is that work and obligations expand to fill the available space.
Ah, Parkinson's law.
It's a version of that, yes. Work expands to fill the time available for its completion. But the source takes it deeper emotionally. It's not just that work expands, it's that life expands.
It's the entropy of existence, the natural tendency toward chaos.
Exactly. In the digital age, the inputs are infinite. Think about it.
Oh, yeah.
You could spend every waking hour of your life just answering emails, responding to Slack messages, checking the news, and maintaining your household.
And you would still not be done.
You would never be done. There is no done.
That is a haunting thought. There is no done.
The noise never stops. If you clear your schedule for a Friday afternoon thinking, I'm going to use this time to write, or I'm going to use this time to learn that new language, what happens?
Usually, something explodes. The car breaks down.
Yep.
Or I get an urgent email marked high priority. Or my kid gets sick and has to be picked up from school.
Or even more subtly, and perhaps more insidiously, you just fill it with lower-level noise.
What do you mean by that?
Well, you think, oh, I have a free afternoon, I should probably reorganize the pantry.
Oh, I feel so seen right now.
Or you start doom scrolling on your phone,
Yeah.
and suddenly 2 hours are gone.
Because we are uncomfortable with the silence? Is that what it is?
I think so. But also because busyness is the default state. It is the baseline.
It's what's normal.
It's what's normal now. The source is arguing that the universe abhors a vacuum, especially in your schedule. If you create a hole, life will rush in to fill it with debris.
So here's where it gets really interesting and frankly a little scary. If busyness is permanent, if this crazy week is actually just life, and if the tide is always rising, then the right time we are waiting for doesn't exist.
It does not exist on the calendar. And that is the pill that is hardest to swallow.
It's a really tough one.
We are waiting for a train that is not on the schedule. We are standing on the platform, checking our watches, confident that the Calm Express is coming.
And we're so sure it's just a little bit late.
So sure.
Yeah.
But the tracks have been torn up for years.
Wow. Okay. That brings us to the next major point in the outline, which is really about the cost of this delusion.
The consequences.
Yes, the consequences. The mechanism of postponement. The source has this quote, how modern life keeps pushing meaningful things into the future.
This is where we have to distinguish between different types of tasks. Because not all busyness is created equal.
Okay.
We need to look at the difference between the urgent and the meaningful.
I feel like I know this battle well, but let's define terms. When we say urgent, what are we talking about?
Urgent is the stuff that screams.
It screams.
It's the house on fire. Or, less dramatically, it's the tax bill that is due tomorrow.
Right.
It's the boss slacking you for a report that was needed an hour ago. It's the baby crying.
It's the stuff with external triggers, things coming at you.
Right. And importantly, it has immediate, usually negative consequences if you ignore it. If you ignore the fire, you burn. If you ignore the tax bill, you get fined. If you ignore the baby, well, you're a bad parent. These things hijack our nervous system. They demand action.
They scream, do me now.
Do me now.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's the urgent. What about the meaningful?
And meaningful. This is the stuff we all say we want to do.
Yes, but how does it behave? Meaningful things usually whisper.
They whisper.
Writing a book, learning to paint, starting a business, calling your grandmother just to talk, not because it's her birthday, but just to connect.
Going on that trip you've dreamed of.
All of that. And what happens if I don't do those things today?
That's the catch. Nothing happens.
Nothing.
Well, not in the short term.
In the immediate sense, nothing. If you don't write page 1 of your novel today, no one is going to fire you.
No.
No one is going to find you. The police aren't going to come to your door.
The world keeps turning.
The world keeps turning exactly as it did yesterday.
So because they don't scream, they get pushed to the back of the line.
Exactly. The source suggests that because meaningful things lack that immediate do-or-die pressure, they are the easiest things to delay.
They're the first to go when things get busy.
They're the first casualties of the illusion of availability. We look at our day and think, I'll do the urgent stuff now because I have to, and I'll do the meaningful stuff later when I have time.
But because having time is an illusion, because the clear horizon is a myth,
Later never comes.
it just keeps getting pushed further and further back.
We treat our life's true priorities, the things that actually define who we are, the things that give our life texture and purpose, as things to fit in after the noise stops.
But the noise never stops.
The noise never stops.
Man, that hits home. It reminds me of that saying, the urgent is the enemy of the important.
It's a classic for a reason.
But the source puts it even more poignantly. It talks about how this process quietly turns into postponing your own life.
I want to focus on that word quietly.
Yes, I noticed that too.
It is doing a lot of heavy lifting in that sense.
Yeah, why quietly? Why that word?
Because we tend to think of failure or tragedy as loud events.
Right.
We think of a car crash or a bankruptcy or a public humiliation.
We think of a dramatic scene in a movie where the protagonist gives up on their dreams in the rain.
Exactly. But in reality, the tragedy of a wasted life is almost never dramatic.
It's subtle.
It's very subtle. You don't wake up one morning and say, I have decided to abandon my dream of being an artist.
No one does that.
You don't say, I have decided to never get fit and to let my health deteriorate.
No, you just say, not today, I'm too tired.
Exactly. You say, I'll do it tomorrow.
I'll start on Monday.
It's a quiet, subtle, day-by-day deferral. It's the I'll start Monday mentality repeated 1,000 times.
The death by 1,000 cuts.
Got a great way to put it. The tragedy isn't a loud explosion. It's a slow leak. It's drift. You drift away from the life you wanted, one day at a time.
It's the silence of it that's so dangerous. You don't even notice you're doing it until 5 years have passed.
10 years, 20.
You wake up and realize you haven't written a word or you haven't taken that trip, and the only reason is that you were busy.
And that is the danger the source is warning us about. The danger isn't that you actively decide not to do the meaningful thing.
It's that you don't really decide at all.
Precisely. The danger is that you perpetually decide to do it tomorrow. And tomorrow is the most dangerous word in the English language when it comes to living a meaningful life.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow is the graveyard of dreams.
So we're stuck in this loop. We're waiting for a clear horizon that doesn't exist. We're letting the urgent drown out the meaningful. We're quietly postponing our lives one day at a time. This is bleak. I feel like we are painting a very depressing picture here. Please tell me the source offers a way out.
It does. It absolutely does. But I have to warn you, it requires a fundamental shift in how we view our agency.
A mindset shift.
A huge one. We have to move from passivity to agency. It's not a hack, it's a paradigm shift.
Oh, okay, let's talk about that shift. The source says explicitly, this isn't about time management tricks.
We touched on this in the intro, but it bears repeating. Why do we always reach for a new app or a new planner when we feel overwhelmed?
Because it feels like a solution. It feels concrete. If I can just organize the chaos, I can control it. It feels like Tetris. If I can just rotate the blocks perfectly, the lines will disappear and I'll have space.
That is a perfect analogy. But the source argues that apps and planners fail in this specific context because they assume the problem is organization.
And it's not.
It's not. They assume that the time is there, hiding in the cracks, and if you just arrange the bricks of your day better, you'll find that hidden pocket of 2 hours.
But the problem isn't organization.
No. The source argues the problem is perception and will.
Perception and will.
Organization often leads to what's called the efficiency trap.
The efficiency trap. What's that?
We discussed this briefly, Parkinson's law. But think about it. If you get really efficient at answering emails, and you cut your email time from 2 hours to 1 hour, do you take that save hour and go for a walk?
No. I wish I did, but no. I usually use it to answer more emails.
Of course.
Or I start a new project because I feel ahead.
Exactly. Efficiency creates a vacuum that sucks in more busyness.
So you just get better at running on the hamster wheel.
You get faster on the hamster wheel, which just makes the wheel spin faster. Becoming more efficient just makes room for more work, not more leisure or meaning.
So the solution cannot be get faster.
The solution has to be something else entirely.
The source has this really powerful assertion that I think is the core of the solution. Time doesn't open up. It gets taken, shaped, and prioritized.
Let's break that down because those are very specific verbs.
Very active verbs.
Very active. Time doesn't open up. That challenges the passive view.
The passive view being the waiting for the clouds to part thing.
Right. The passive view treats time like the weather. Oh, looks like it's going to be a sunny day. I'll go for a walk.
Oh, looks like I have free time. I'll write my book.
Exactly. It views time as something that happens to you. It's external.
But the active view is taken, shaped, and prioritized.
Look at those verbs. Taken. That's aggressive.
Yeah, it sounds like a heist. You have to steal the time.
In a way, yes. You have to take it from something else.
What do you mean?
The world is not going to give you time. The world wants your time.
Oh, it definitely does.
Your employer wants it. Your family wants it. Advertisers want it. The algorithm on your phone wants every second of it.
They're all fighting for it.
If you do not defend your time and take it for what matters to you, it will be taken by someone else. It is a resource war.
Wow. Okay, so that's taken. What about shaped? That sounds creative.
It is. Time is raw material. 24 hours.
Yeah.
Given to everyone. But the shape of that day, that is up to you.
It doesn't come preformed.
No. You have to carve it. It reminds me of that idea of sculpting. You have to chip away the stone. You don't want to reveal the statue inside.
You're chipping away the unimportant stuff.
The less important stuff, yes. To make room for the form you actually want to see.
And then there's prioritized. And I think this is where people get tripped up.
How so?
We think prioritizing just means making a list of what we want to do. Here are my top 10 goals.
That's a wish list, not a priority list.
Right. What's the difference?
In this context, prioritizing implies conflict. It implies sacrifice.
Sacrifice.
It implies subtraction. To prioritize something truly means you must deprioritize something else.
So to have time for X, I have to aggressively take it from Y.
Correct. This is the part no one likes to talk about.
Because it's uncomfortable.
It's very uncomfortable. We want to do the meaningful thing, but we don't want to let go of the urgent things either. We want to be the perfect employee, the perfect parent, have the perfectly clean house, and write the novel.
We want it all. We don't want to make the trade-off.
And the source says, that is impossible. The math doesn't work.
So it's a zero-sum game?
In a 24-hour day, it is.
Yeah.
To write the book, you cannot wait for free time. You have to take that time from something else. Maybe you take it from sleep.
Okay.
Maybe you take it from Netflix. Maybe you take it from cleaning the house. Maybe your house is just a little bit messier for a while.
Maybe you take it from answering emails and you accept the consequence that people might be annoyed. You're slow to respond.
That is the hard part, the social cost.
The fear of letting people down.
You have to be willing to disappoint people or systems in order to satisfy your own meaningful goals.
Yeah.
It's an act of force, not discovery.
An act of force, that's so powerful. So what does this all mean for the listener? The source ends with a mantra. You don't find time, you decide.
This is the final verdict. Finding versus deciding.
Let's analyze the language there. Finding implies it's lost.
Right.
Like loose change under the couch cushion. Oh, look, I found an hour.
Finding relies on luck. It relies on external circumstances aligning perfectly.
It's passive.
It's completely passive. It puts the locus of control outside of yourself. If you say, I can't find the time, you are essentially saying, the world is hiding it from me.
It absolves you of responsibility. I would love to exercise, but I just can't find the time. It makes you a victim of your schedule.
Exactly. But replace find with make or decide.
I haven't decided to make time to exercise.
Oof. That lands differently, doesn't it?
Yeah, that stings. Because that admits that I could do it, but I'm choosing not to.
It places the responsibility squarely on the individual. It removes the victimhood.
It takes away the excuse.
It completely removes the excuse. If you don't have time, it's because you haven't decided to take it. It implies that right now, other things are more important to you than the thing you claim to want.
Which is a hard truth to face.
A very hard truth.
It really removes the excuse of I'm too busy. Because everyone is busy.
Everyone.
The people who are doing the things you want to do, the people writing books, running marathons, starting businesses, they are busy too.
They're just as busy as you are. They have the same 24 hours.
They just decided to cut something else out.
Precisely. It turns time from a resource you scavenge for into a territory you claim.
That's a great distinction.
It's a shift from I hope I can to I will.
Yeah.
And that is incredibly empowering, but it is also daunting because it means you have no one to blame but yourself.
Okay, this has been a journey. We started with that feeling of holding our breath.
That tension.
Waiting for the real life to start. We realized that the clear horizon is a total myth, a mirage that keeps moving away from us.
We discussed how the mechanism of modern life is a rising tide of permanent busyness, and how waiting for it to recede is a strategy guaranteed to fail.
We talked about the silent tragedy of postponing the meaningful for the urgent.
The quiet drift.
And how that quietly steals our lives away, one tomorrow at a time.
And finally, we landed on the core shift. You cannot wait for time to open up. You must take it. You must shape it. You must decide.
So as we wrap up this depth dive, we want to leave you with a final thought. A challenge, really.
If we accept the source's premise that time never opens up on its own, and you must decide rather than find, then we have to ask a hard question.
A very personal question.
Yes.
What is the one specific thing, the one meaningful thing that you've been delaying? That thing you've been telling yourself you'll do when things quiet down?
Is it a creative project? Is it a health goal? Is it a relationship?
Is it learning an instrument?
Whatever it is,
Yeah.
Identify that thing. Hold it in your mind. And then realize things will never quiet down.
They won't.
The time will never just appear.
So the question isn't, when will I have time? The question is, what are you going to put out today to make space for it?
Not tomorrow, not next week. What are you going to sacrifice? What email are you going to ignore? What show are you going to skip? Who are you going to say no to?
Because if you don't violently carve out that space right now amidst the chaos.
And it has to be violent.
Yes.
A conscious, forceful act.
The chaos will simply wash over it.
Don't try to find time. You won't find it. Decide.
Decide. That's it for this deep dive. We'll see you next time.
Take care.